All right, folks, welcome back to another episode of the Blockbuster Brothers. Today, Brian and I are talking about season 5 of Stranger Things. The trailer is out. First, let's go over some numbers budget wise. Okay, so season 4 was confirmed to have a total production cost of approximately $270 million, which equates to about 30 million per episode. Brian, I saw the trailer. I mean, looks like Stranger Things to me. I'm sure this will create a lot of buzz and do well. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is, one of Netflix's biggest babies, and this is the final season. I would be interested to see how much the budget was for the first season for the Duffer Boys of Stranger Things. But you know what? I think out of all the characters after all this time, Steve has had the most interesting arc for me. He started out kind of as your annoying villain, and it's kind of awesome. It's almost like a compatible to like a Jamie Lannister type character arc where in the beginnings he's more of an annoying antagonist character and just slowly but surely becomes more and more of a fan favorite, eventually establishing themselves purely with the antagonist group. This show started 10 years ago or so in 2016. Am I correct, Stephen? And Millie Bobby Brown's now like 21, 22, along with a lot of the other cast. They were 11 years old, and it's time for this show to come to an end. I think that it's iconic and it's tapped into the subculture of around the world. This is one of those bigger shows that really transcends just the medium that it's in. And again, this will always be one of Netflix's biggest babies. I haven't stuck with the show because I drift a little bit. I definitely was a huge fan of the first seasons, but they have held a pretty good quality, which you have to give Netflix credit for that. And they have a huge following for this. I think this is going to be a huge void that they're going to have to fill, and also a huge problem with stories about kids, especially when it's seasons. These kids are growing up faster than what they know what to do with it. Kind of Harry Potter had this similar problem, and they planned for it. But despite regardless of what they want, the story's wrapping up. These kids are adults now, and it's been part of our journey, and I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm gonna check it out just to see how this story ends. But again, I really do love the whole cast, but in particular, I got a rooting interest for Steve, and I
Oh,
root for you too, Steven. I'm
yeah.
biased.
I
I
was
like
about to
Stevens.
say,
They're
well,
good
thank you,
guys.
Brian.
They're good
Yeah, well,
guys.
I think, it's interesting. I just wonder. So, by the way, first season budget, 48 million, around 6 million a pop.
Wow. Wow.
So, you're talking about probably season 5 is probably going to eclipse 300 million. So, from 48 to 300 million per season, it's pretty remarkable. But, you know, I think it's kind of a running joke around now where it's like season 5, these kids are older and all that. And I just kind of wonder if Netflix was on the ball when they wrapped up season 1, because if I was in charge, and who knows what the heck happens, but wouldn't you like to lock everybody down for the next 3 years, finish all 5 seasons in rapid succession, as opposed to season break, season break, season break? And so I don't know the intricacies of how that played out, but yeah, we'll see how it is. I'm sure it's good, and I'm sure Stranger Things fan will like it.
Yeah, and I think you make a really good point. I think Lord of the Rings, not that they tapped us, and you've seen other shows, Avatar's doing this as well, where they're shooting all the movies at once. And I think especially given that you're dealing with children that are aging up at an incredible rate, um, that would make even more sense. I will say it's tough to tell when you got something gold, especially in the first season, so I can understand why they're not like, okay, let's shoot all 5 seasons right off the bat, But once gold struck, lightning struck on that first season of popularity, I think you're absolutely right. On season 2, they should have been like, all right, let's shoot the next 3 or 4 seasons, or at least like give it so, it feels like it can age properly, or take a time gap, or take time gaps. But I think that those are all valid points. Please let us know if you're fans of Stranger Things. Are you excited for the new season, season 5? I will say one last note. I am a fan of how they structure this trailer, where it's not too revealing. They're mostly establishing a vibe. You know what you're getting into. I like that trailers that leave out uh, information. I don't need to watch the whole movie in the trailer. Just give me a vibe, just throw me a scene, and I'm good. And I feel like that's the side that they leaned on. So well done for Netflix and Stranger Things for that. I'm definitely going to check it out. Are you guys checking it out? What are your problems, concerns, or high hopes? Let us know. We love you all, and we'll catch you all in another episode of The Blockbuster Brothers.